All right. Just gonna wait for some people. I really need to figure out how to properly plan live streams sometimes. I sometimes often ask myself, why don't I just do this? Why don't I just plan ahead and talk about this? Anyway. Just waiting for some people. Oh, well, we got one. Got two. Waiting for some more people before we get started. I'm sure you're all wondering what this beefy boy is. Back to one. That's great. Man, I really need to do announce plan ahead live streams sometimes. I really need to do that more. So, anyway. Man, I got the white zombie theme, white zombie song "Thunder Kiss 65" stuck in my head. I'm just killing time. I know, people watching this after the live stream are going to be like, "The hell is all this? What's all this? What's all this? This 2 minutes of just nothing? Get to the box." No, gotta wait for some people. Those are the rules. Weird. More people usually show up by the near 3 minute mark. Up. Yeah. Oh, hi, Darren. You're the first one here. Darren Root. You're the first one in here. Gonna wait a little longer. And also kind of explain, some other stuff as well. Man, it is dead. Holy crap. Oh, hello, Caroline. Man, this is, Oh, there's Marion. Hey, Multi. That's me. Hello to you, Marion McDaniel. All right, 3 people, finally, at the near 4 minute mark. Now, great, I can't get Thunder Kiss 65 out of my head. Sup, Root? Oh wait, you were already here. I was kind of waiting for more people, but yeah. It's a weird song to get in your head, Caroline. I'm gonna be honest. It's a weird song you got up in your head. Just saying. Anyway. I guess more people will show up, and I'm kind of tired of waving this knife around because, knowing my luck, I'm going to end up hurting myself. Anyway, so for those who remember, a few weeks ago, Chris aka the Mountain Vernon Kid, had sent me a package full of comics that I've been reviewing for a while. And I've still got about 14 more books from that first one. And 14 more books on that end, and I'll get to them mixing them in with this. But this is package number 2 of 3, so I don't know when the third one's going to show up. This is a beefy boy. Like this was heavier than the last one. Like this was heavier. So I don't know if it's like more hardbacks or if it's just more books in general. So I guess we'll find out. So yeah, let's get this box open. You know, just pointing a knife at myself. There's nothing, no harm here. No danger. Oof. This is a locked in one. All right. Oh, I already see something cool. Come on. Come on. There we go. There we go. All right. Box is now open. So let's get into it. Starting off with this little book of Tron, the original movie adaptation. This is it's literally what it is. It's a comic adaptation of the Tron movie. I don't know if I'll review this one because it's literally the movie, but this is really cool. This will be fun to read. Next up, we got some cool signed separate issues that Chris had gotten for me. Starting with DC versus Vampires, which is a ticket of authenticity and signed by James Tynion. So that's really cool. This was really cool. He also looks like he got me the first 3 issues of DC versus Vampires with the variant covers. So that's really cool. Tynion is a fun writer. He's becoming one of my favorites. So this was really cool. So thank you so much for that, Chris. Moving on now to another comic written with Tynion's signature, letter of authenticity, is House of Slaughter #1. Then we have, well, I don't know what this is, but this looks cool. This little image right here. I like this little picture right here. That was pretty cool. 5-star. Looks like the first issue of the series, so that's pretty cool. Man, a lot of trades. So this was a beefy package. So first up, we have Volume 1 of Rednecks. So Rednecks is basically hillbilly vampires, written by Donnie Cates. And if you guys know, Donnie Cates is one of my favorite, if not my time. I'm like his work is Rednecks is one of his earlier work before I think he went to Marvel. So this is really cool. I'm really looking forward to this. Moving on now to Zenescope, Grim Tales of Terror, the Bridgewater Triangle. The Bridgewater Triangle in real life is a triangle in the Appalachians, which is known to be home to various supernatural forces. And no one's watching. All right. I guess people just have to come back and watch this again later. I'll just power through it. Yep, too late to turn back now. This is, yeah. Anyway, so Bridgewater Triangle, like I said, is from Zenescope, which is becoming one of my favorite indie comic series, so this should be fun. This should be a lot of fun. Now this, I have no idea what that Chris was sending me. It's a comic called Old Haunts. I have no idea what this comic is. I have no clue. It looks like a horror book. Cool. Should be fun. Moving right along to The Resistance, which is from the Volume 1, and this is done by J. Michael Straczynski. Another comic I have no idea about. I think it's about an alien invasion, I believe. No idea, but should be interesting. Should be a lot of fun. It's also done with artwork by Mike Deodato Jr., so this should be fun. Finally, we got people back. I'm wondering, like, yeah. Anyway, next up we have Van Helsing, another Zenescope series, and this one versus Dracula's daughter. This is Dracula. Van Helsing is a very fun Zenescope character. Been loving a lot of the exploits, and Chris has been showing me a lot of those comics, so this should be fun. Moving up to our next one. Yeah, we got a lot in here. Like a lot. A lot of indie books, this by the looks of it, as I dig forward. Keeping up with Erratic. Another comic that Chris didn't tell me. It looks like Spider-Man, doesn't it? It looks like Spider-Man. So, it's done by Career Andrews, who is a known Marvel and DC writer. So, could be fun. It does definitely have that Spider-Man feel, so we'll see how this goes. Next up, we have Yakuza Demon Killers. This is from IDW by the looks of it. This is another indie horror comic. Chris really kind of was like, "Hey, I'm gonna you may know what I'm gonna be sending you, but you don't know what a lot of it is." And sure enough, I'm flabbergasted every time I see these these new books, because he kept a lot this haul very close to the chest. Next up, we have Dark Thread Surf Girl. This was one I did know that was being sent to me. This is from I have no idea what the indie company is, but this is another fun indie hero comic. So this looks fun. This looks fun. I know it's not a lot to really say, but this is pretty cool. This is all pretty cool stuff. Now let's see how many we got in here. Yeah. Next up, we have Jason Starr's Red Border. It's a brutal comic involving a woman who gets possessed by a Viking axe and takes on the killers that think Last House on the Left meets Berserk. That's the best way to describe this comic is Last House on the Left meets Berserk. That's really it's really the best way I can describe this. Anyway, moving on to our next book, and this is Doctor Who: The Spalding Growth. This is a comic along with the Tron book that Chris told me, and it's a lot of books from Titan. It's a lot of books from Titan Comics who do the Doctor Who comics now, since they took it from IDW. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I've wanted to read more of the Titan Doctor Who books, so this could be a good place to have it. Second volume, Serve You. It's another 11th Doctor adventure. This looks like a lot of fun. I do like that they have them in hardbacks. I like the fact they have hardbacks in these books, and have them all neat and tidy here. And finally, from DC, another DC book, and this was a big one. I don't know where I'm going to put this. John Ridley's The Other History of the DC Universe. This is the history. This is the DC Comics miniseries that basically what it was to focus on the non-white superheroes, particularly the likes of Black Lightning and Black Lightning and his daughter. You have others focusing on other characters. John Ridley is a guy who's been behind 12 Years a Slave. He also he's written and he also helped write a lot of other big hit Oscar-worthy movies. So this is really cool. This is really cool. I actually want to open it real quick because, yeah, I didn't think it would be this big. I knew it was a big hardback, but I didn't expect it to be this big. It's a 5-part comic. Just want to look at the art real quick. And it looks like a big storybook, really. These big sprawling pages. Yeah. Yeah, just like a big storybook, really. It's kind of cool. I had no idea. I knew like some ideas, but I never knew what the interior was like. So this could be a lot of fun. This could be a lot of fun. Well, actually, no. This is a lot of fun to look at. This is going to be so much. There's going to be so much to take in with this comic. But yeah, it's a 5-issue series. But it does look like it's going to be like a bit of a while before I finish this one. I'll say that much. Like, it's going to take me a while to get through it because this is a big boy. This is a big boy. This is a big chunky one right here. I've been using chunky a lot. I don't like it. Yeah. So there we go. I might go through these again in some of the other comics that I went through last haul and no one saw. Oh, look, everyone's coming in right as I finish everything. Fucking typical. Yeah. Hey, Captain Omni. Hey, Adam. Yeah. Hello, Arlo. Yeah. As though it's typical. Like, hey, Bizarro. It's typical. I finished the comic haul and it's all done. So I may have to go through it again just to be like, all right, here it is. Here it all is. Here's what you missed. I might also go through what's left of the haul next. But before I do, I want to thank my good friend Chris for sending me this video, for sending me these comics, and for future comics. Cleaning duty at Kroger. Ugh, that's hell in of itself, my dude. That is. I had to get the stink of egg out of my apron. I feel you, man. I feel you. It's not fun. I had a dental appointment. I just got back from class. All right, these are all good excuses. Good excuses. I will accept them. I will accept them. I just mess with you guys. Oh. I'm just legitimately tardy due to irresponsibility. I will accept your honesty. Anyway, so before I redo all of these, because I just did these comics. Like I said, I want to thank Chris, Mount Vernon Kid, for sending me these books. In fact, I think he texted me. Let's see. Oh, we are so professional on this channel. We are so fucking professional. Nope, that wasn't Chris. That wasn't Chris. That was Jason Voorhees 2011. Totally different person. Anyway, so let's go through the comics that he sent. Well, I've gone through a few of them. I've reviewed several of them already. But let's go through the ones I haven't yet and still have yet to go through. So this is one I'm almost finished with, so expect a review of this very soon. Okay, that was funny, Omni. The first one, and this is one you're going to probably see a review of very soon, Young Hellboy, The Hidden Land. It's a new comic series of like a lost story of Hellboy in his childhood on a lost island. There's gorilla people, there's dinosaurs, there's vampires. It is his typical Mike Mignola. It's going to be cool. You'll like that review. Next up, we have Iron Fist, Heart of the Dragon, by Larry Hama, who's been known best for doing a lot of G.I. Joe comics, even to this day. So that one's going to be really fun. Next up, we have Alien Bloodlines. This is the first volume, the first story arc of the Marvel Alien era. I'm really looking forward to the Predator series by Ed Brisson, but this looks really cool. Chris really hates xenomorphs because he just hates the face huggers. The Iron Fist comic, Arlo, that's one of the new, a new Iron Fist and Xiao Lao the dragon being killed. Xiao Lao the Undying, and it leads to a new dragon. It's a big status quo for a change for Iron Fist. And by just big status quo change, I mean like it'll get changed in about 3-4 years. Because that's Marvel. That's comics in general. But yeah, Alien Bloodline, that's going to be cool. Next up, we have Jeff Johns and Gary Frank's Geiger. This is, think like a superhero version of Fallout New Vegas. That's the best way I can describe this book. I'm really looking forward to it, honestly. Like, this looks really cool. And I hope you guys enjoy it. This is like legit Jeff Johns and Gary Frank with no restrictions on them, like they ever needed them. Next up, we have actually the both volumes of another Image book right here, Radiant Black, which is written by Kyle Higgins. This is a comic that is basically like Power Rangers meets Invincible, and by that I mean the uber violence of Invincible. So this looks really cool. I'm really gonna. I can't wait to read this one and review it. I think what I'm gonna do with this one is do a review of both volumes in one. Like do a review of both. Moving on to our next one, and that is the United States of Captain America. This is the story of Steve meeting all the new Captain Americas he's inspired while taking on the Hate Monger. This is written by Christopher Cantwell, who's becoming another one of my big faves over at Marvel. So that's going to be really cool. Next up, we have Chip Zdarsky's Spider-Man Life Story. This is the big one. This is another big one right here. I did a review of Chip Zdarsky's other alternate universe Spider-Man story, Spider's Shadow, which was a What If book. And this is the story of where What If Spider-Man aged in real time. Yeah, Spider-Man Life Story. Going to be cool. Yep. Moving on to Nocterra, which is a comic by Scott Snyder and artwork by Tony S. Daniel. Both DC writers doing an Image book. And this is like a supernatural post-apocalyptic story. This is the first one of that. Again, it's like Jeff Johns and Frank working on an Image book together. Snyder and Daniel doing an Image book together. That's going to be really cool. Yep. Next up, following that, we have Volume 3 of Moonshine, which is basically gangsters versus werewolves. And I think Chris said he's going to be sending me Volume 4 soon. Like, probably what I think is now is that it's going to be the next drop, like the next comic unboxing. Anyway, so this is going to be really cool to review. I don't know if I'll probably wait to do 3 and 4 together. Next up, we have David Liss, The Shadow Now. David Liss is a really good, underrated writer. He did a phenomenal work on The Spider for Dynamite Comics, so I can't wait to see his take on the Shadow in the present day. That's what this comic is, essentially. Next up, we have Monstrous, which is a alternate world of Art Deco beauty and steampunk horror. Monstrous tells the epic story of Micah Halfwolf, a teenage survivor of a cataclysmic war between humans and Archeans. In the face of oppression and terrible danger, both hunter and hunted, searching for answers about her mysterious past, as those who seek to use her remain just one step behind, and all the while, the monster within her begins to awaken. Did I do a good job? Anyway, this is written by Marjorie Liu. This is another Image comic I've wanted to read. It's kind of like a lot of the artwork, and this is going to sound weird, but a lot of the artwork and the like the universe and the style reminds me of Gangutsuo, the Count of Monte Cristo, which was an anime adaptation of Count of Monte Cristo. Anyway. So yeah, this looks really cool. This is a big one too. This is a big girl too. Yeah, this one, I know this comic is still going, and I really want to like this. When I get to it, I want to read more of the volumes, because this always gets raved about as like, if any comic should get an anime adaptation that isn't Marvel or DC, this is always in talks, along with Saga and Spawn. So, yeah. So next up, we have Mycroft Holmes in the Apocalypse Handbook, written by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. as in the NBA All-Star Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah, that one. This guy wrote a comic about Sherlock Holmes' brother fighting steampunk zombies. Enough said. And finally, this slasher comic written by a comic called Poser, which is a slasher horror comic set in like a punk rock era. I have no idea what this is about. That's all I know. It's a straight up horror comic. Yeah, it's another indie horror book. So there you go. Those are the comics from the first haul. And yeah, like I said, the first one of these of this one is probably going to be the Young Hellboy review. After that, we'll see, depending on where I sort all the other comics together. Anyway, so so now that we have more people in the since we have more people here, I'm going to redo the whole thing. But before I do, the reason why, and if most of you guys remember my last comic haul, basically what happened was, we just recapped what was left of the first haul. There were other comics in there, like Berserker and another recap of Haul 2. And there is another one that is going to be coming from Chris. But before I do, I want to talk about last time I did it, I was in a very funky mood. I was in just a bad mood. Essentially what had happened at work is that one of my supervisors decided to drop drugs and and assaulted someone. So yeah, I was emotionally drained by the end of it because this dude ruined a lot of people's lives. But thank God for comics. Thank God for comics. Anyway, so let's get into this little recap. I'm gonna sort this up real quick and do it again. Like Goofy always says, I'll fucking do it again. Yeah. Although keep in mind, these are a vast majority of them are independent books that I had no knowledge or very little knowledge of that Chris was sending me. A lot of these were surprises. Like a lot of these were straight up surprises. And I was like, I don't know what this is, but this looks really cool. So, without further ado, oh, hey, Warhawk. I was wondering when you were going to stumble on in here. That is right. Jabbar did go from basketball to acting, so yeah. All right, bye, Marion. In other words, a typical day in Florida. Exactly, Darren. Exactly. Anyway, so let's get started. Actually, let's do the single issues first, real quick. Let's do the single issues. 5-star number 1, which is from just an independent book. I have no idea what this... I think Chris told me about it. I just forgot, but this looks really cool. But the next few... Also like this little piece of art right here. This looks really cool. I'm going to find somewhere to hang this on my wall, to pin it to the wall. So, but this is really cool. Autographed issue 1 cover, issue 1 comics by James Tynion, House of Slaughter, and DC versus Vampires. This is really cool. Chris, thank you so much. Even has the certificate of authenticity to them. Yeah, both signed by James Tynion. House of Slaughter is a spin-off of Something is Killing the Children. I have not read Something is Killing the Children because Chris is sending that in, I imagine, the next haul of the comics. So yeah, it's going to be fun. But yeah, I also have the variant covers for issues 2 and 3 of DC versus Vampires. Yeah, all good. All good in the hood. So let's get into the trades because we got some ones to talk about. Starting off with Rednecks by Donnie Cates. This was Cates's Image book. I think he's still writing the volumes. This is, as you guys know, I really love Donnie Cates as a writer. He's probably one of my favorite writers in comics in general. So to read some of his other books is really fun. Like his Image books before he transitioned to Marvel is going to be really fun. All I know, it's like a Southern vampires. It's like Southern vampires. It's redneck vampires. It's the best way to describe it. Next up, we have the Bridgewater Triangle. And the Bridgewater Triangle is basically a actual place that's in the Appalachians that encapsulates a lot of paranormal activity. It's, sightings of like Bigfoot, aliens, the Goat Man, Mothman, like all of those happen in this little triangle, basically. And this comic is from Zenescope, a indie comic series I'm reading more and more about, thanks to Chris. So this is going to be really fun. Next up, we have It got glowing reviews from both Garth Ennis and Brian K. Vaughan. So I wonder what that's about. Rob Williams. I have an interest, like not Robin Williams, but Rob Williams is interesting in the fact that he also, if I remember right, no, that was Robbie Williams. Rob Williams, I know he's written something, but Robbie Williams, he wrote that god-awful second Terminator RoboCop crossover. Anyway, but Old Haunts should be fun. It looks dark. It really, like, I'm looking through the comic, it really does look like it's harkening back to like some Punisher Max stuff. So it's going to be fun. Maybe a little bit. We have J. Michael Straczynski and Mike Deodato's The Resistance. Looks like looks like a superhero, super alien comic. So no, Arlo, My Hero Academia by Garth Ennis is called Boys. Anyway. Moving on to, so yeah, that's going to be really cool. I've never read anything from Upshot, so maybe this will be a good start. Moving on to Yakuza Demon Killers from IDW. I have no idea that Chris was sending me this comic. It looks completely insane. So yeah, artwork looks gritty. I don't think I'll be able to show you much, but yeah, looks like a lot of fun. Next up, we have from another Zenescope book, Van Helsing versus Dracula's Daughter. This is another one of the Van Helsing comics from Zenescope. I've been reading I've read a few of them that Chris sent me, so this is going to be a lot of fun. Looks brutal. Looks like a lot of fun. Yeah. Moving on now to Surf Girl. This is from Smart Ministry. I can't read the smaller print, but this looks like another fun indie comic. This looks like another fun superhero indie book. Going to be a lot of interesting stuff to read and kind of really talk about. So I wonder how many people are going to be interested in reading these. Moving on. Speaking of which, another Upshot comic, Erratic by Career Andrews. It looks a lot like Spider-Man, and trust me, the back also kind of shows that. It's like Blue Beetle, Spider-Man. Yeah, a lot of these comics look like they're trying to be like stuff for movies, because a lot of these have big name writers behind them, and a lot of them look like they could be plots for movies or TV shows, which would not shock me in the freaking slightest. But this looks really cool. Next up, we have Red Border, which, again, this comic looks very reminiscent to, like a lot of the Punisher Max books. So this is going to be a lot of fun to read. Anyway, so that's going to be oh, okay. So erratic is a known comic. So okay. And again, red border. This isn't a Punisher Max book. This is not a Punisher book. It's supposed to be a lot like Punisher Max, is what I'm told. So next up, we have The Bounce, which I have no idea. This is an Image book, apparently, written by Joe Casey. All right. No idea what this comic is about. This is one that Chris just sent me. So, yeah. It's written by Casey, David Manissa as artist. And the back is Jasper Jenkins is searching for his true identity. Will he find it in this world or the next? Ooh. Now we come to the last few. A lot of hardcovers. Starting off with Basket of Heads. Basketful of Heads, excuse me. Basketful of Heads, actually, like the sleeve, it looks really cool, and I might keep it, but check out that, the hardcover itself is actually really damn good, too. Like, damn. But I'm going to keep it on the sleeve. The dust jacket also looks good. But Basketful of Heads is basically from Hill Comics, which, for those who don't know, it's from Joe Hill, who most of you guys will know best as the guy behind Lock and Key and also Stephen King's son. So, Basketful of Heads is, the best way to describe it is Berserk meets Last House on the Left. That is the, that's the best way to describe this comic. It is from DC, from their Black Label run. This, like I said, it's about this woman who finds this Nordic axe, and it calls to her to kill the people of Wrongder in a brutal house invasion. This is going to be really cool to review. This looks, like I said, the best way to describe this comic, as I'm told, is Berserk meets Last House on the Left. Anyway, so the next two are the 2 volumes of Doctor Who from Titan Comics, the 11th Doctor Adventures. Also, well, Rob Williams wrote these, but Al Ewing co-wrote this one. Yay! I like Al Ewing. Immortal Hulk fame. Don't worry, I'll get to that one in a moment. But yeah, this looks really cool. I've been meaning to read the Titan Comics version of Doctor Who, so this is going to be a lot of fun. Now we come to Tron, the original movie adaptation. According to Chris, he got this in the 2 Doctor Who books from, I believe he said a garage sale. This is really cool, but it's just the movie. It's just a movie adaptation in a little book. So I don't know if I'll be reviewing this one. The script is transcribed by Peter David, so there is that. But again, it's a movie adaptation, so I don't know if I'll fully need to review it. Excuse me. If I fully need to review it, because you've seen the movie. It's Tron. It's you know how this is going to end. Anyway. And finally, this big one right here, The Other History of the DC Universe. This is from John Ridley, who wrote the movie 12 Years a Slave. He's also done other books and other movies before. This is basically focusing on the non-white superheroes of the DC universe throughout history. This focuses on Katana. This focuses on Jericho. This focuses on Black Lightning, Cyborg. All of these characters told through their perspective, and kind of like this big storybook kind of way too. So this is going to be interesting. So I've never seen a lot of comics that had these big things, but it's more or less told, the DC universe told from the perspective of the African American superheroes and other races, the other nationalities of the DC universe outside of, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, all the yeah, all the other ones. So yeah, this is going to be really cool. This is going to be a big one too. This is a big one too. I knew it was going to be like a hardcover, but I didn't know it was going to be like. I didn't know it was going to be this big. Kind of reminds me of my Black Sad comics that are kind of this size too. This big wide angle, this big like coffee table edition. You know, that's the best way to describe them. Coffee table. So yeah. Oh yeah, there is a Renee Montoya chapter. I forgot that Renee Montoya plays a vital role in here. Like I said, Jon Stewart is a big one in here. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be fun. So yeah, and keep in mind, I still have another. You guys get to just check it out. I still have another comic from Chris, another comic drop from Chris. At some point in the future. Like that's the other thing is that I have another comic drop, a third one that I don't know when it will be, but I know it will probably be maybe before MegaCon, like maybe slightly before or maybe after MegaCon at some point. But yeah, Chris is a great friend, and Chris, I know you're watching this. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for these comics, for those comics, for all the comics, and just being my friend. That's the best way I could describe it is. Thank you so much, Chris, because I know you're going to be watching this. Thank you for just being my friend. Thank you so much for being my friend, my brother. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I can say, really. That's Chris came in clutch again. So yeah. I don't know. The other thing is I always get worried when I do the comic reviews because I always get worried they may not get enough reviews or get enough views or interest. Now, thankfully, I have noticed that a lot of the indie books, especially from Image, get a lot of love, maybe even a little more views than the Marvel comics, because I did notice that my Big Girls review did get a little more views than Spider-Man Spider Shadow review. So makes me want I might do more. I might do more indie books than Marvel books, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Now comes the fun part, because now I'm gonna have to sort out which ones do I want to read more. Because we got we've only had technically, this was a lot of indie books. And indie in the sense that we didn't get a lot of known superhero books outside of this one. We got a lot of independent books here and a lot of original stories, and nothing wrong with that. But yeah, so stuff and the Marvel and DC books we did get were Black Label, so that's really cool. Anyway. Crap, I lost my train of thought. Yeah. So I do know at this point of at least some of the books that will be coming in hall number 3 is going to be Something is Killing the Children, because Chris told me he did get the first 3 volumes of Something is Killing the Children, which is a James Tynion comic, for me. He did get the first 3 volumes for me. So now I at least know that's going to be in the next hall. I thought it'd be in hall 2, but it does look like it's going to be hall 3. Can't wait to read those. Yeah. Can't wait to. Yeah, wait to read those books from Boom Studios. I think that's also where the next volume of Moonshine is going to be as well. It's just going to be like Pandora's Box, or better put, Schrodinger's comic book, in a way. Sooner rather than later. Although it may take me time, because I know some people are going to ask me to do the other history of the DC universe. But that one, like, it's 5 issues, but it's actually 5 really long issues. Yeah. Trust me, writing a novel does take time. Anyway, so yeah. Any that strike anyone's fancy for me to read, like, put on a little higher? Because I still got 14 other comics to go through from Chris, and God knows how many others he's going to be sending me. Erratic? I got one for Erratic. Yeah, I already did a review of Berserker, Omni. I already did my review of Berserker. Yeah, that's already on the channel. Okay, that's more for Erratic. All right. Looks like Erratic's getting a lot of buzz for it. Okay. Ugh. All right, guys. I know this isn't a long live stream, but like I swore to Chris, I swore an oath that, like, whenever I did a comic drop, it would be a live stream, not a video. And I have other stuff to do today, unfortunately. So, yeah. I'd like to thank everyone for showing up. It took about 18 minutes, but hey, more people showed up and I was in a much better mood. So thank God for that. No one on drugs on work shift today. Yay. I am a man of my word, Bizarro, that's right. But anyway, so hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.